What is the goal, the ultimate goal?
So my goal with these videos and with the type of content that I'm putting out is to sort of help educate people on professional wrestling more and make it very easy for them. Either watch or join the business. That is my goal, to open up professional wrestling to new audiences.
My mind is going Jose Zamora versus Dominic Mysterio right now.
Some people comment that. Some people comment that they want to see that. Maybe one day, hopefully.
You have to blind rank these all-time Puerto Rican wrestlers. Where does the cool Caribbean apple-eating Carlito go?
But you started so difficult right now. Like that's like the hardest one. Yeah, I would have to say.
From San Juan, Puerto Rico, my name is the Spotlight. And I just have to say, congratulations, because you are all present in front of the most viral and the most relevant independent professional wrestler in the world, because no light can outshine the spotlight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Real to Us. I am Anthony the Mark, and today I am joined by a very special guest. Please welcome Jose Zamora.
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here, Jose. I have been a fan of yours for a long time, and getting the opportunity to sit down and talk to you is one that our community has been asking for a while. So let's jump on into it. Thank you for joining me. For members of our community who are maybe unfamiliar with who you are and who the Spotlight is, can you maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Jose Zamora, and I've been in the wrestling world for about a year and a half to, I would say now, this is my first year wrestling on shows, but I have been training for about almost 2 years now. And when I began my training journey, I decided that I was gonna document my journey to become a professional wrestler and whatnot. And that's where the social media videos came about.
This is Clip Farm. You're up.
So I started this journey and I started the social media at the exact same time. And it's led to some crazy opportunities very early on in my career. And I was sort of able to turn the social media into a character. You know, I wear this little mic'd up, a microphone, Rode wireless microphone in my wrestling matches. And that's sort of what, has evolved into the character. I am also from Puerto Rico, so living here in Massachusetts, but I am from Puerto Rico. It's what I'm very proud of. So, yeah.
You mentioned you wear the microphone in the ring. You go by the world's first mic'd up wrestler.
First mic'd up wrestler in the world, and I'm gonna win this battle royal in front of thousands of people. Yeah, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Stop! Wait! Hey, what's up there, fella? Chad, I think I'm in trouble.
Where did that idea come from? Was it something that you knew very early on you wanted to do, or did it just one day pop in your head?
Well, so when I first started doing social media videos, I was doing the training videos with the microphone. And I was one day in a training session with Dijak and Anthony Green, because they are two of my coaches. And they had told me and suggested that I should start implementing the social media as a character, because having a character in professional wrestling, especially in today's day and age, is incredibly important. So that's when I started to think and sort of brainstorm what that would look like and how that would be different from other social media characters, because obviously I'm not the first one. However, I realized that, in order to separate myself from everyone else, I needed to come up with something very unique. And that's where the idea of wearing a mic during the wrestling matches came about, because I feel like it's just a very different way to engage the audience and sort of at the same time just teach people about what it is that we're going through in that ring and all of the emotions, all of the character, all of the physical and technical abilities and whatnot. And that's where it sort of came to be. So that's, it was a match made in heaven. I was able to connect everything very perfectly. And here we are.
You are such a unique performer. As you mentioned, you do stand out because you're the only one who brings in a microphone, sometimes even a camera. I've seen the POV.
Yeah, I bring the tripod with me, set it out outside of the ring, and we go from there.
Can we talk about that for just a quick second? Is it at all awkward having to set up a tripod before a match or an event?
It is without a question the most awkward feeling ever. I have broken 3 tripods.
Oh, no.
I am on my 3rd tripod right now. It is a logistical nightmare. It is horrible. I hate it. It's my character, so I have to love it. But the logistics behind it, I absolutely hate it because sometimes, depending on the venue, the camera may be like, in the midst of the entrance and whatnot. I can't just spend 40 minutes setting up the camera, but I also can't like block the view of the fans. So it just becomes this like nightmare to like try to like play around with and try to get the best angle for the videos and whatnot. But I feel like I've made it work a little bit.
I'd imagine each scenario in each event is different, but you've done it so much now that you've probably got a pattern and a routine, and all of your content comes out great. So just keep it up. But going back to the logistics of what you were just talking about, how is it when it comes to working with a promoter of an independent event or a wrestler? Do they need to be aware that the tripod's there, you're working, you're trying to create clips, also record your match?
So it's a good question because when I first approached Chase Del Monte, he is my coach, but he's also the owner of Chaotic Wrestling, which is my home promotion. When I first approached him with this idea, he was actually very open to it. He like sort of understood what it is that I wanted to do. So from a promoter's standpoint, I would say that, thankfully with the amount of content that I've been able to put out, a lot of the promoters now sort of know what they're going to get and know that the camera doesn't necessarily get in the way. In regards to the wrestlers, obviously it's, again, very fortunate that with the content that I've put out, they've been able to see what it is that I sort of try to do with these videos and with the microphone. But some of them obviously asked, have questions and ask, questions that maybe I shouldn't say because it's peeking behind the curtain and whatnot. But there's definitely been a sense of curiosity from a lot of people as well. But I will say we also play into it in the match. I had a match with Anthony Green, and again, I don't really want to peek behind the curtain too much, but we essentially understood that we needed to do certain spots in front of my camera because it would just be so cool and it would turn out so awesome. And that's where I don't know if you saw it. I did like a submission hold where I'm like standing on his back talking about the top 5 wrestling baddies and whatnot. And then he hits me with a cutter.
First mic'd up wrestler in the world. And today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 baddies in wrestling. Chat, I don't know what to do.
Just stuff like that, you sort of, as time goes by and as I work with a lot of people, you sort of start to play into the camera more and you understand what it is that I'm sort of trying to do.
As a fan of your content, it's refreshing when you see the performers and wrestlers you're working with buy into your gimmick. I feel like that's when you get your best content. The thumbnail gimmick or spot you do where it's like thumbnail.
Hey, you know what? You're gonna help me with a thumbnail. Check this out. Thumbnail. Oh, yes. Thumbnail. Oh.
That's funny. And I would imagine though you have to choreograph it with the performer, right?
Certain aspects of it, certain parts of it that now like connects to what wrestling and wrestling training is and whatnot. again, not peeking too much behind the curtain, I will say that the best things in a wrestling match are the ones where you feel out there rather than plan it. You got to sort of like feel the crowd and feel the environment and what it is that's happening right now, because that's what ultimately makes it real, and that's what ultimately gives out like a good wrestling match. It's whether it looks real and the emotions are real and the contact is real and you can see the intent behind everything that you're doing in that ring, and that's sort of what I mean by it. But yes, when they play into the gimmick, it's great.
So
sure.
is the thumbnail spot, was that just a feeling moment? Was that you came up with that on the fly, or did you have that in your back pocket just waiting for the right moment to use it?
It's I did it in training, and I've sort of developed it. Like first it was like a blow to the club to the chest. Now it's been sort of like a drop kick and whatnot. And again, you sort of start to feel of what could fit in certain matches, and what would be better. Some moments I just only get an opportunity to do the club in the chest. It really just like depends on the type of match. It really just depends on like the crowd and sort of what you're doing.
Speaking of the crowd, when you're recording your videos and it's just you out there, is there maybe one, well, I guess maybe a two-part question. One, I would imagine you get heckled all the time doing that.
Yeah, I do.
And two, is there maybe one funniest memory or most memorable crowd response you got to you creating a video?
I will definitely say when I did it at Limitless Wrestling, because Limitless Wrestling is, I would say, a top 5 independent wrestling company in the world. And to be at Limitless Wrestling in my first year of wrestling, actually 2 days ago, I just faced Scotty 2 Hotty and his son with Swipe Right. So, those experiences are insane for a first year wrestler like myself. But that was definitely the most memorable one, just because it was in front of like 500 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like so nervous. I was just like, it was just surreal to like just grab a microphone in front of everyone. And it's like, oh my God, like, I think I literally said it in the video. I was like, watch me piss off 500 people.
Watch me piss off 500 people. Excuse me. I am going to record a video, so I need complete silence. Wait, stop! I said I need complete silence!
That one was definitely the most memorable one.
They were pissed. I saw that clip. And it's funny, I was going to ask you about that match and about working with Scotty 2 Hotty and working with Swipe Right.
I'm here with Swipe Right! We're here. And we're about to whoop Scotty 2 Hotty. Chat, I think his back itches. Yeah!
Scotty obviously worked with WWE many years ago. Swipe Right has been involved in Evolve and NXT Tag or NXT. Did you get any advice from veterans and up and comers that you're going to hold with you moving forward?
For sure. Scotty was incredible to work with, and his son has such a bright future. Ace Romero too was also in that match. Definitely a lot of advice. It's one of those things where you try to at least make sure that you don't seem out of place. With that match, my goal was to show people that, not to sound cliche, but that I belong. Like I didn't want to just be that guy, with all these legends, and then it's like, oh, Jose Zamora is there. And yeah, just with Swipe Right, Ricky Smokes, was one of the members. He goes to my school, so I've been training with him for years now. To just watch him grow has been incredible, and that was just an incredible experience as a whole. It was honestly amazing.
I popped. I was like, Jose, Swipe Right, Scotty 2 Hotty. That's cool. Those are some big names, man. So congratulations on getting the opportunity to work with them. And when it goes back, just going back to the content creation for just a little bit longer, getting to this point, I'm sure hasn't been easy. Is there maybe one moment from a content creation point of view you can pinpoint and say that was the video that put me on the map?
Yeah, without a question. My match with Anthony Green, all the videos I released from that match, but specifically the one where I'm doing the submission hold and doing the top 5 baddies and whatnot. I think that definitely put me on the map because Anthony Green is, without a question, the standard of what a wrestler should be, and he just has immense respect from the wrestling world. So I knew that facing him was a very big deal. So I wanted to do something where I got as many eyes on, our match, and the fact that, this kid who's in his first year wrestling on shows is facing Anthony Green. Like that's sort of the stamp of approval. And literally after I posted those videos,
Dad, I'm like, 1, 2, I'm so agile. Leave a like and share.
I was very fortunate enough to get messages from some of the best promotions, and it's been off and running ever since.
Would you say that the content creation side of things has helped expedite your maybe rise up the independent scene? It seems like you got thousands and thousands of followers in a short period of time.
Yeah, for sure, without a question. But it's sort of what I always wanted to do, if that makes sense. I've always felt like professional wrestling, it's such a marketing centric business. Like you need to be able to market yourself on social media and online in a very effective way. And I also felt like there was potential for it too. I also felt like there was something missing in the wrestling world when it comes to utilizing social media to the fullest extent. So yes, it has definitely helped me a lot, like without a question. But it is sort of what my plan was, if that makes sense. It's sort of what I've always wanted to sort of achieve with that.
You are a man with a plan, and that plan that we talk of, how does it come to fruition? What is the goal, the ultimate goal?
Well, I've always felt like people could be more, or I'll say it like this. I always wanted to show people that someone like John Cena is not just some jacked, shirtless dude running around the ring on live television. I've always wanted to show people that there is a very high level of, both physical but technical ability required to do this. And, I always remember being in the 9th grade, telling my mom that I wanted to be a professional wrestler, but I didn't know how to join. I didn't know how to actually, to do that, how to make it to the WWE. And it wasn't until later on that I started researching and I realized, oh, wow, you can actually join a professional wrestling school. You can actually, train to become a professional wrestler. So my goal with these videos and with the type of content that I'm putting out is to sort of help educate people on professional wrestling more and make it very easy for them to sort of either watch or join the business and sort of show that it is possible to join this business, and this is how you do it. And you can train to be like some of your favorite wrestlers, and you can, you can just that there is a lot required to be a wrestler. It's not this just random thing where they put jacked people in a ring and they're running around television. So yeah, I would say that is definitely my goal with it, because I also feel like there's got to be millions of kids just like me that have always wanted to be professional wrestlers, but they just simply don't know how. And I feel like, thankfully, with these videos, and I say this because I receive a lot of messages every single day from kids, from people that again, thankfully feel inspired by my videos to start wrestling training. So yeah, that is my goal, to open up professional wrestling to new audiences.
That is such a great goal. And man, you're going about it in such a unique way that's never been done before. And the idea of you popping up on a little kid's feed, like he's watching a TikTok and he's seeing you and thinking to himself, man, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can become a professional wrestler like Jose, is just, it's such a great thing, because wrestling, it brings us all together. You know, when you watch a wrestling match, yeah, you're rooting for a heel, you're rooting for a base, but at the end of the day, you want to see just a good show. And you got a great goal, great mindset. A lot of people would be like, yeah, you know, I want to make, it's business, I want to make tons of money, go to WWE, maybe AEW. But that's a great answer, man, and I respect that answer a lot. And I'm curious, I heard you mention John Cena. I'm wondering what wrestlers inspired you, like you're now maybe inspiring a whole bunch of younger wrestlers. When you were younger, who were the wrestlers that inspired you?
Without question, Rey Mysterio. Mysterio, that guy's my hero. That guy is my hero. When I was in high school, CM Punk, obviously, because when I was in high school, it was 2012, Pipe Bomb, CM Punk. As I'm wrestling now, I would say someone like Seth Rollins and Kenny Omega. You just look at those guys and you're like in absolute disbelief as to what they're able to do. And it's wild to me, especially someone like Kenny Omega. He just like has a motor every time he's in that ring. You know, every time I have a match, I'm like completely blown up and exhausted. So yeah, but Rey Mysterio is without a question like my hero. I love that guy.
Jacob Fatu is currently the all gas, no brakes guy, but Kenny Omega was all gas, no brakes before Jacob Fatu.
Insane.
And Rey Mysterio is easily the greatest luchador of all time. I don't care what anyone says.
No,
I got to be honest. My mind is going Jose Zamora versus Dominic Mysterio right now.
Some people comment that. Some people comment that they want to see that.
But that would be a very, very fun match. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll get to see it.
Maybe one day, hopefully.
Maybe one day. But for right now, for today, moving forward, what is your normal week look like when it comes to wrestling and training? How much time are you putting into being a professional wrestler?
Yeah. So, for example, I have a match today, Monday.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah, all gas, no brakes. Typically it's. Right now, I've been having a lot of shows on Monday with a company called Wrestling Open. They run every Thursday. That's their slogan, every Thursday forever. But they also now created a company that runs Mondays as well. So sometimes I have a show Monday and Thursday. And then I've been very fortunate now where I've been able to pick up steam with bookings where, I have a show maybe Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. And then I train Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So a lot of wrestling, a lot of wrestling throughout the week for sure. But it's very good. I'm very happy with it for sure.
Practice makes perfect too, man.
For sure. Yes, for sure. You need it. You need it without a question.
So we're 2 years into the Jose Zamora Spotlight experience. I am excited to see where you go in the next year, the next handful of years. I have no doubt that you will be on the professional wrestling scene for a very, very long time to come. And before we wrap up this interview, I figured we could play a game because it's real to us. We're all about games here. I'm going to give you 5 wrestlers and you have to blind rank them without knowing which one comes next. But there's a little bit of a caveat. You have to blind rank these all-time Puerto Rican wrestlers.
Okay.
So strictly Puerto Rican wrestlers. Okay.
Cool. Hell yeah. All right.
Not knowing who comes next, 1 through 5. Where does the cool Caribbean apple-eating Carlito go?
But you started so difficult right now. Like that's like the hardest one.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Yeah. I would have to say. Oh my God. Okay, this might be a little like controversial. I'm going to rank him 1. And the reason why I'm going to rank him 1 is because he is more from my generation. Like when I was a kid, obviously in Puerto Rico. The first like Puerto Rican wrestler I ever knew of was Carlito with the apple and the you think you're cool. Just an incredible character. I'm also ranking him at 1 because I want to face him. I want to face him now that he's in the Indies. And yeah, espero que eso pase. Carlito, ¿sabes? Vamos, ¿entiendes? Vamos a darnos puños, puñeta. But yeah, I'll rank him as at 1.
I respect that so much, Jose. Let's see if you regret it, but I
right.
Okay, next. Pedro Morales. Perhaps the most storied Puerto Rican wrestler of all time.
Yeah, literally, right? 3. Final answer. 3.
Okay.
Yep, because I think there's gonna be one mention that I will rank it to.
Okay. Where does Savio Vega go?
2.
Okay.
2. Because again, Carlitos was the first one. Savio Vega was the second one for me, if that makes sense. The second one that I knew of. Also a very storied career. Also someone I either want to wrestle or wrestle for because he's the owner of IWA. So yes, those are my top 3 right now.
Based on your mindset, this is a perfect list so far.
I would say so.
People might disagree, but based on your mindset and how you were playing the list, this is perfect so far.
I think this is perfect. Yes.
Okay. All right. And this one's a little bit of a curveball. I'm not sure how you feel about it. Where does Bad Bunny go?
I gotta put him at 5. Listen, Bad Bunny's great. I love Bad Bunny. Obviamente, if you're from Puerto Rico, you love Bad Bunny. What he did was incredible. He I will say probably has the greatest entrance in all of Puerto Rican wrestling history, without a question. That was an incredible entrance. What he did was incredible. But at the end of the day, I gotta rank him at 5. I think he would agree with this for sure too. But yeah.
I do like that you showed him some love though, even though you put him in 5.
No, he's amazing.
That aerial drone shot too, where it came out right from behind Bad Bunny. It was incredible. Incredible. Yeah. And then Bad Bunny's backlash opponent, Damian Priest.
4. I mean that's a very solid list. Obviously, Damian Priest, world champion, has been able to do a lot of great things over the past few years. A very good representation of Puerto Rico. You have him. You also have Mike Santana now. For me, my goal at the end of the day is just to be able to someday be in one of these lists, if that makes sense. Just representing Puerto Rico at the highest level. It's something that I strive for. It's something that I'm working very hard for, and yeah. That is definitely my goal. A lot of incredible Puerto Rican wrestlers. I hope to one day be a part of that as well.
Keep on going, man. I have no doubt you absolutely will. You got great work ethic. You got great creativity. You got great talent. So just keep on going, man. One foot in front of the other.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being on. Maybe we'll get you on some other time. We talked off camera, but I want to get it on the record, okay? It's real to us. We are hoping to one day be an independent wrestling promotion. If your services are available, can we call on Jose Zamora, the Spotlight?
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me. I have to return the favor.
We got it, guys. We got it.
For sure.
All right, Jose, thank you so much. Good luck, and we'll catch you next time on It's Real to Us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.